Kita tunggu. Oke, dah siap sekarang. Doni, you can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can you make it full screen? Yeah, not like this.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, our honorable lecturer, Sir Urai. Today, I would like to present my proposal. The title of my proposal is Improving Student Speaking Skills by Using Show and Tell Method, a Classroom Action Research. In Chapter 1, Research Background, in this research, in Indonesia, language, especially English, is essential in a variety of contexts, including daily life, communication dynamics, and the educational system. Since the onset of globalization, English has become the universal language, enabling people from different linguistic origins to communicate with each other in a smooth and mutually understanding manner. As a foreign language that is taught in the curriculum starting in elementary school and continuing through tertiary educations, English holds a prominent place in the complex educational landscapes of Indonesia. The ubiquitous nature of English in the educational context highlight the language inherent worth in providing people with the necessary language skills to maneuver through the complexities of a more interconnected global society. The next one is in 1.2 is research questions. How can the show and tell method be used to improve student speaking skills in a classroom setting? And next in 1.3, research purpose. This research is the purpose of this research is to investigate the effectiveness of show and tell method in improving student speaking skills in a classroom setting and the difficulties and obstacles students face when teachers implement this technique in their classrooms. And next in 1.4, research scope. In this research, the researchers focus on applying show and tell method to enhance students' speaking skills of 7th grade students in junior high school. And next in 1.5, research significance. For the teacher, show and tell can be used as a method of teaching speaking, and it is expected to help teachers to find an alternative technique to teach speaking and give teachers inspirations in improving their teaching by using this method. So they will be able to make students more interested and will be able to enhance their ability in speaking. And next, for students, it is hopefully can be useful as a method in learning speaking, and it is expected to help them enhance their speaking skill through the show and tell method. And the last one, for the researchers. For the researchers, the results of the study is expected to give informations and help also facilitate other researchers who interest to study the same case and give information in doing further research. And the next is terminology. The first one is speaking skills. Speaking skills is the ability to communicate verbally in a clear and understandable manner through a variety of skills, including fluency, articulations, and pronunciations. In addition to verbal expressions, nonverbal indicators like body language and eye contact support spoken expressions by building rapport with the listeners. Stress, rhythm, and intonations all contribute to improve communications by expressing emotions, emphasis, and meaning. Effective speaking requires presence, composure, and confidence. These qualities build credibility and trust through constant practice, evaluations, and improvement. The second one is classroom action research. The methodical process of examining and refining instructional strategies inside the confines of a classroom is known as classroom action research. To solve some educational problems or improve teaching techniques, it involves teachers actively participating in the research process. An issue or question is usually identified, interventions or changes are planned. Changes are put into practice in the classroom. Result are observed and data are gathered, and conclusions are reflected upon the guide additional actions or modifications. This kind of research usually follows a cyclical process. And the last one is show and tell. Students are encouraged to bring an object from home to school and share it with their classmates during the educational show and tell practice, which is common in middle age and secondary school setting. In this exercise, students alternately present their selected object to the class, offering an explanations of its importance, fascinating anecdotes, or personal applications. In addition to giving kids a chance to learn from each other's expressions and interests, show and tell helps them develop their communication skills, confidence, and creativity.
Halo Doni,
Yes,
are
sir.
you still?
Sorry, sir. There's my slide is won't move, sir.
Itulah. Selannya tidak berubah. Nah, sekarang udah berubah.
May I continue, sir?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, next, chapter 2, literature review. The first one in 2.1 is speaking. Improving students' scientific mastery encompasses a multi-phase approach with language proficiency playing a pivotal role in this endeavor. Among the various language skills, speaking stands out as a fundamental aspect that directly influences students' ability to articulate ideas, engage in discourse, and convey understanding effectively. As highlighted by Nejawati in 2017, speaking involves the vocalizations and articulations of words, serving as a productive skills essentials for communications and expressions. However, the cultivation of effective speaking skills is not merely a matter of innate ability. It requires consistent practice and reinforcements. Gusti Reno in 2019 underscores the significance of speaking English as a means for students from diverse backgrounds to communicate and connect with one another. Yet, mastering speaking language, particularly in a second language context, demands sustained effort and engagement in meaningful interactions. And next in 2.2, teaching speaking. Teaching speaking with its multi-phase natures hold a pivotal role in shaping the fabric of society by sculpting minds, fostering growth and igniting potential. It stands as a timeless pursuit, deeply rooted in the art of imparting knowledge, refining skills and nurturing character. As both a skill and a profession, teaching has garnered extensive attention, sparking debates, analysis, and classifications that illuminate its interaction dynamic. Over the years, the discourse surrounding teaching has evolved, reflecting a shift towards student-centered paradigm that prioritizes active engagements and collaborative learning. This evaluation is underscored by empirical studies highlighting the efficiency of strategies that empower learners to take ownership of their educational journey. Such approach, championed by scholars like Brown in 2001, emphasized the cultivation of intrinsic motivations and the development of critical thinking skills thus paving the way for a more enriching and empowering educational experience. And the last one, 2.3, show and tell. The show and tell method, as expounded by Rohaiti in 2011, represent a dynamic pedagogical approach aimed at fostering multi-phase learning experiences within the classroom. This method is more than just a simple presentations of object. It serves as a conduit for students to share personal anecdotes, insight, and observation. Hasnah in 2022 further underscores the holistic objectives of the show and tell method, emphasizing its role in sensitizing students to societal issues and instilling a sense of empathy. Moreover, the student-centered inherent in the show and tell method fosters a supportive learning environment wherein students feel empowered to take ownership of their learning journey by providing opportunities for active participations and encouraging open dialogue. Educators cultivate a culture of inclusivity and collaborations, wherein every student's voice is valued and respected. This approach not only enhances students' confidence in public speaking, but also nurtures essential life skills such as empathy, resilience, and adaptability, equipping them to navigate the complexities of an ever-changing world. And the last one in chapter 3 is methodology. In 3.1, there are research design. This research will be used classroom action research when applying improving student speaking skills by using show and tell method. And for 3.2, population and sample, the populations of this research are the 7th grade students of junior high school. In 3.3, for data collections, for this research, the technique of data collections will be using observations, field notes, interview, and videotaping, which are administrated to measure student speaking skills. And in for 3.4, tools of data collections, the pre-test and post-test tools are created to evaluate the speaking comprehension skills of students prior to and following the incorporations of show and tell into learning environment. And in 3.5, data analysis, the data analysis for this classroom action research study involves both quantitative and qualitative methods. The primary focus is on assessing the effectiveness of show and tell method on junior high school students' speaking comprehensions. So I think that's all the presentations of my proposals. Uh, if you have questions, you can raise your hand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Donny. Now we come to the question and answer session by your
Yes, sir.
friend. Yeah, I would like to invite Handari first. Please have your time.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So for Doni, I would like to ask about uh, can you uh, tell us what are the key challenges faced by students when learning English, particularly in speaking, and how can the show and tell method help overcome these challenges? I think that's all, sir, for me.
Okay, Andari, thank you for your questions. The challenges faced by students when learning English, particularly in speaking, and how can show and tell method help overcome these challenges? Uh, in my opinion, students often face challenges, for example, like uh, low motivations, maybe anxiety, and self-doubt when learning English, especially in speaking. With show and tell, we can help overcome these challenges by providing a supportive learning environment. we can encouraging active participations from students and promoting inclusivity and collaborations from students and teacher. So, in my opinion, by using this method, student can develop their confidence and speaking skills in public place, not also in school, and enhance their ability to express themselves in effective way. I think that's all my answer.
Okay, do you have more question, Handari?
No, sir.
Now, Olivia.
All right, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity. For Doni, I would like to ask, can you explain how does the classroom action research or CAR approach contribute to the improvement of teaching and learning practice, and what are its implications for the development of students' speaking skills? Thank you.
I'm sorry, Olivia, can you repeat your questions?
All right. Can you explain how does the classroom action research approach contribute to the improvement of teaching and learning practice? And what are its implications for the development of students' speaking skills?
Okay. Okay, thank you for the questions. In my opinion, uh, classroom action research is a methodical process of examining and refining instructional strategies inside the classrooms, which involve teacher actively participating in the research process. Uh, so not only the students is participate, but also the teachers is also actively participate. This approach is particularly useful for improving teaching practices, and it can also enhancing students' learning outcomes, including the development of speaking skills. So, in my opinion, by using classroom action research, teachers can reflect on their practice. They can also uh, promote new ideas, and teachers can focus on the teachings and learning process in the classroom. So they can focus on their students, and ultimately leading to more effective and more engaging learning experience for students. So students can learn more focus, and teachers can use effective way to engage learning experience for students. I think that's all from me.
Are you done, Doni?
Yes, sir.
Olivia, you have more to say?
No, sir. Thank you for the answer, Doni.
You're welcome.
Okay, now, Doni, can you start sharing? I want to show your proposal. Okay, now Doni, improving student speaking skill using snow and tell method. Oke. Baik, kita mulai dari judul dulu ya. Judulnya oke. Artinya dari segi judul itu tidak ada masalah. Improving student speaking skill using snow and tell method. Ya. Mungkin snow and tell teknik mungkin ya, karena biasanya kalau metode itu masih banyak lagi di bawahnya cabang-cabangnya. Kalau teknik ya itulah dia, berarti kita mengajar speaking itu dengan show and tell teknik. Nah, itu mungkin.
Yes, sir.
Classroom action research, oke. Nah, ketika kamu bicara tentang kita bicara di sini dulu lah ya, introduction. Nah, introduction itu tidak bisa kalau tanpa ada ya, I'm teaching, bentar ya. I'm teaching, bentar ya. Ya. Oke, jadi kalau penelitiannya itu adalah classroom action research, maka di introduction itu Anda harus mengungkapkan adanya sebuah masalah. Ya. So, for example, speaking skill. You are talking about speaking skill, so you have to mention and elaborate that you have the problem with teaching. You can say that you have a problem with speaking achievement or speaking competence in your school, in the target school, yeah, and you try to help the school or the teacher to solve the problem. Nah, itu harusnya begitu. Ya. Yang selanjutnya kalau di introduction background, you have to karena ini adalah proposal, you cannot, referensinya tidak ada sama sekali gini ya, ini tidak bisa. You have to have some references in your introduction, because when you propose a topic, you have some argument, and also to indicate that you have read some work or references, just to show that you understand. Yeah. So you have to use a reference. Walaupun referensinya tidak too many, ya, just few references in introduction as indication that you have read enough materials, yeah, for your topic, or at least you are aware, to indicate that you are aware about the topic you are going to choose, yeah, or to do. So that's why you need to have some reference. At least you have to show some other work or some other studies that have been done by others, and therefore you need some references here. Okay. Kemudian research questions. Ya. Ini apa nih? How can the data be used to improve? Ya bolehlah ya. Atau mau lebih pasnya itu how does show and tell methods improve student speaking skill? Nah, gitu.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Itu minimal, mungkin this sound better rather than this. Kalau pertanyaannya cuma satu, jangan dikasih nomor ya. Kalau ada nomor satu berarti ada nomor dua. Kalau kamu hanya satu, ya nggak perlu dikasih nomor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, research purpose, research scope, research significance. So research scope should be the last in this section. Scope should be in here, yeah, in terminology. So terminology is under the research scope, so not here. Yang signifikan berarti skopnya dibuang saja, masukkan ke sini atau cukup, ini sudah cukup ya, terminology. Nah, kalau dalam terminologi penjelasannya itu jangan panjang-panjang seperti ini. Namanya ke terminologi. So you need a quick definition, ya, that only apply in your research, or some general definition is okay. Yeah, if the term, quite open, quite often appears in your proposal. Speaking skill misalkan itu, kalau gini kan, speaking skill is the ability to communicate verbally and clear bla bla bla. Ini adalah general definition. Harusnya speaking skill itu adalah misalkan ya, kemampuan apa misalkan jadi yang hanya berlaku untuk riset ini. Nah, kamu misalkan apa? Speaking skill yang dimaksud dalam penelitian ini adalah kemampuan untuk mengenalkan diri, misalkan seperti itu. Atau speaking skill refer to self introduction or apa, kemampuan untuk menggunakan informasi yang sudah disiapkan untuk mengenalkan diri, misalnya seperti itu. So once again, the definition is specific only to this research, ya, riset kamu. Jadi bukan definisi yang umum seperti ini. Kalau ini mah tidak perlu dijelaskan, orang bisa mencari di tempat lain.
Yes, sir.
Ya, kemudian classroom action research tidak perlu karena kan classroom action itu adalah metode kamu riset kamu nanti di apa? Di chapter 3 kan nanti akan bicara ini classroom action research. Nah, snow and tell ini yang paling penting diterjemahkan, didefinisikan. Apa snow and tell itu? Kalau di sini kan bukan nih, coba. Students are encouraged to bring an object and from home to school, bla bla bla. Mungkin kalau show and tell itu kan apa, sebuah misalkan a game, ya, that asks student to show an object and tell the definition or tell the description of the object, misalkan seperti itu. Jadi definisinya hanya sangat-sangat singkat. Ya. Jadi tidak perlu dijelaskan detail karena penjelasan detail itu ada di chapter 2 kalau snow and tell. You have to talk about this because these become the keywords of your work or of your research proposal. So you have to elaborate this in your chapter 2 di sini nanti. Okay, now, nah ini snow and tell. Tapi mulai dari awal tadi ya, ini sangat sedikit ya, maksud saya ini kurang ya. Coba lihat di teks. Ini hanya berapa kata ini kan? 600. Jadi masih kurang lah, double lah. Di 2 kali lipat dari ini baru cukup sebagai sebuah proposal yang normal di prodi bahasa Inggris. Jadi you need to write more. Jadi sekali lagi di chapter 1 kamu harus punya referensi untuk menunjukkan bahwa kamu sudah cukup baca di sana dan kamu sudah mengerti apa yang terjadi dan sudah tahu apa yang sudah orang lakukan dengan topik yang akan kamu usung ini. Jadi harus ada referensinya. Kemudian di chapter 2 saya sering sudah menjelaskannya. Chapter 2 itu kalau kamu melakukan penelitian classroom exercise berarti kan tentang teaching. Jadi yang harus dibahas itu teaching bukan speaking. Jadi the umbrella of your research is teaching. Teaching apa? Teaching English. So your theory is about teaching English, not about speaking. Jadi kalau speaking English itu mungkin lebih spesifik, lebih lebih pas ya, maksudnya it's better than just speaking. Speaking can be anything, you know. You can talk about speaking in general because your topic is speaking. Tapi sebenarnya begini, to make it short, maksudnya saya supaya tidak bertele-tele, harusnya di sini nih, di speaking nih, judulnya harusnya Teaching English as Foreign Language atau Teaching Speaking English as a Foreign Language, gitu judulnya. Tapi isinya juga ya tentang mendefinisikan apa itu teaching dalam konteks foreign language kan. Kenapa bahasa Inggris itu foreign di Indonesia? Itu kan artinya bahwa di Indonesia itu bahasa Inggris sangat sulit diakses. Maksudnya it is not common people use English in public places. Bahkan in office, government office pun speaking, English is not used. Ya. Jadi itu makanya mengajar speaking apalagi ya itu sangat sulit dalam arti konteksnya itu sangat berbeda dengan second language. Jadi itu yang harus dibahas di sini. Why? I mean, what kind of situation that you are talking about teaching, speaking. Nah, di dalamnya barulah kamu bicara tentang speaking skill atau ya speaking skill. Jadi skill apa saja yang harusnya dibahas di dalam your research. Ya. Di sini saya lihat tadi ada speaking, teaching speaking, itu kan harusnya di sana. Ini teaching speaking pun terlalu umum bahasanya kan harus yang kita maksudkan teaching speaking English as foreign language. Makanya di judul pertama itu harus ada kejelasan. Nah, di bagian selanjutnya tadi kan di sini harusnya teaching English, teaching speaking in, jadi harusnya teaching speaking, ya, teaching speaking in EFL context, kan harusnya seperti itu. Nah, tapi isinya memang harus merefer ke sini, ya, merefer ke EFL itu. Nah, setelah itu Anda bicara tentang teaching speaking skill, nah, silakan. Di sini memang diperlukan skill apa saja yang Anda akan cover dalam penelitian ini. Harusnya ini penuh dengan maksud teori tentang speaking skills. Nah, ini kalau saya lihat referensinya nih, itu kan hanya ini yang lumayan lah ya. Artinya Jeremy Hammer, harusnya nulisnya itu Hammer saja, jangan pakai Jeremy. Gini. Jadi Hammer itu memang banyak sekali menulis buku-buku tentang pembelajaran bahasa Inggris. Nah, Hammer ya. Kalau yang lain nih boleh dikutip, tapi kita ingin melihat para pakar sebenarnya yang kamu kutip ini. Boleh mengutip penelitian-penelitian yang lain kalau Anda menjelaskan tentang hasil penelitian yang sudah dilakukan yang topiknya kurang lebih sama dengan yang ini gitu. Oke. Teaching speaking tadi itu speaking skill, berarti speaking skill itu Anda jelaskan di sini. Skillnya skill apa saja dalam teaching? Kan teachingnya banyak sekali sebenarnya. Skillnya. Jadi harus dibahas di sini dan harusnya banyak juga penelitian yang sudah dilakukan tentang speaking skill dan hubungannya dengan mungkin kalau show and tell itu apakah the game, maka kalau game berarti kita bicara juga tentang game atau apa ini saya tidak tahu show and tell itu. Makanya itu di penjelasannya sini harusnya ada show and tell. Kan di sini kan ya show and tell method as expounded bla 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 dynamic pedagogical approach. Nah, itu kan approach itu lebih besar lagi gitu. Jadi sebenarnya show and tell itu bukan approach. Multifaceted learning experience within classroom. This method is more than just simple presentation of an object. It serves as conduit for students to share personal anecdote, insight, and observation, thereby enriching their communicative abilities and deepening their understanding. Apakah mau sampai seperti ini gitu kan? Menurut saya sangat lebar kalau itu disebut dengan approach. Jadi kalau approach itu kan misalkan communicative approach. Jadi sebuah teknik mengajar yang mendorong communication. Nah, mungkin show and tell itu salah satu dari satu teknik dari begitu banyak teknik untuk mengajar communication. Kalau iya berarti dia menjadi communicative approach ya. Atau ada approach lain ya, tapi show and tell jelas bukan sebagai approach ya. Dia sebagai teknik. Biasanya kalau kita mengajar itu dengan menggunakan teknik. Kalau dia menggunakan metode, ya metode, berarti kita mengajar itu sekali mengajar itu menggunakan beberapa teknik. Yang teknik itu bisa kita kumpulkan menjadi satu approach. Misalkan inquiry, yang biasa digunakan oleh guru itu approach-nya misalkan scientific inquiry, misalkan seperti itu. Scientific inquiry itu kan kalau anak itu explore terlebih dahulu baru bisa menyimpulkan dan sebagainya, itu scientific inquiry. Tapi tekniknya kan bisa macam-macam. Nah, sama dengan ini. Jadi show and tell itu harusnya teknik. Nah, kalau dia teknik, kita mau lihat penjelasan tentang step by step-nya. Bagaimana cara melakukan show and tell. Di sini belum ada sama sekali penjelasan tentang itu. Sedangkan ini adalah judul kamu. Jadi ini harus benar-benar dibahas di sini. Ya.
Yes, sir.
Nah, jadi 2 hal minimal, yaitu tentang teaching speaking in EFL context, kemudian di dalamnya ada speaking skill. Nah, setelah itu barulah kamu bicara tentang teknik atau metode. Nanti ini kalau metode kamu carikan metodenya apa. Karena kalau teknik itu harus ada sebuah kronologi di sini ya, harus ada step by step bagaimana cara menggunakan dan melaksanakan show and tell. Oke, selanjutnya research methods, research design, itu classroom action research, berarti kamu harus menjelaskan apa itu classroom action research. Kan classroom action research itu minimal ada planning kan, planning, ada observing, acting ya. Sebenarnya acting dulu baru observing, tapi pelaksanaan itu on the same thing, on the same stage maksud saya. Ketika acting kita harus observing, baru reflecting kan gitu. Nah itu harusnya dijelaskan planning itu apa, acting itu apa, observing itu apa. Baru kita bisa reflecting itu apa. Inilah proses penelitian dengan CAR. Dan itu harusnya dijelaskan. Dan ini harus ada referensi. Ya, biasanya orang menggunakan Burn, berarti Burn 2010 kalau tidak salah saya. Ini bukunya ada. Jadi doing teaching English using classroom action research, itulah kira-kira judul bukunya itu. Nah itu penjelasan yang sangat komplit maksud saya tentang classroom action research. Atau menggunakan buku-buku riset yang lain, classroom action research itu sudah hampir semua buku riset method in education itu pasti ada classroom action research-nya. Ini ya. Kemudian kalau yang namanya classroom action research, kita tidak menggunakan population and sample. Kita tidak pakai population and sample. Kita pakai partisipan. Karena kita tidak melakukan sampling di sini. Kita cuma melakukan atau menjelaskan tentang setting di mana Anda melakukan penelitian ini. Jadi harus menjelaskan di mana. Nah, di mana di situ maksudnya adalah karakteristik sekolah yang Anda tempat meneliti itu. Jadi bukan nama sekolahnya, misalkan SMK 7 bukan begitu, tapi SMK misalkan yang mana struktur kurikulum bahasa Inggrisnya itu adalah misalkan begini begitu. Jadi dijelaskan setting daripada tempat penelitian kita. Nah, disitulah terjadi permasalahan yang akan kita carikan solusinya, kan begitu. Itulah namanya action research. Data collection itu harusnya penjelasan tentang apa? Tentang tekniknya apa gitu. Teknik atau data apa yang diperlukan. Jadi bukan masa pakai video taping, emang sekarang masih ada video taping ya. Sekarang tape itu enggak dipakai lagi, kita kan pakai digital. Tapi video recording mungkin ya, tapi bukan itu yang dimaksud dengan data collection. Yang kita maksud dengan data collection, data apa? Pastilah data tentang speaking anak-anak. Berarti kan harus ada tes speaking. Jadi yaitu tekniknya adalah teknik measurement, to measure. Jadi teknik pengukuran, mengukur kemampuan speaking. Gitu. Kalau observation, kenapa diperlukan observation? Karena ini kita ingin melihat bagaimana seorang guru tampil dengan metode show and tell. Itu observasi. Jadi kita jelaskan observasi itu untuk merekam atau mengumpulkan data tentang apa dan sebagainya seperti itu. Apalagi interview, apakah kita perlu interview? I don't know for sure that one. Nah, toolnya atau instrumen barulah kita misalkan observasi itu pakai apa? Pakai rekam kah atau pakai checklist kah? Kan bisa. Pakai field note. Artinya kita merekam hal-hal yang perlu kejadian-kejadian yang penting yang perlu kita rekam, dalam arti perlu maksudnya kita catat kejadian-kejadian itu. Namanya field note. Kalau kita mau lengkap ya berarti kita rekam semuanya ya, apa yang terjadi selama proses pembelajaran itu terjadi, kita rekam dengan video recording misalkan. Tapi semuanya itu pasti ada plus minusnya kan. Jadi kalau kita misalkan merekam sesuatu di kelas itu takutnya siswanya menjadi tidak normal gitu. Maksudnya tidak normal itu pasti ada yang seperti dibuat-buat gitu ya. Padahal kita ingin merekam kejadian itu apa adanya. Toolsnya berarti tesnya juga tes apa speaking. Kalau speaking ya seperti apa itu mengetesnya dan sebagainya. Di sini harus semuanya sudah ada penjelasannya ya. Dan contoh soalnya speaking itu tes speakingnya seperti apa. Jadi harus dijelaskan. Nah, di dalam CAR tidak ada istilah pre-test dan post-test. Kalau pre-test post-test itu namanya eksperimental. Kalau kamu kan tidak. Jadi tes saja, tes measurement, ngetes pencapaian daripada siswa. Mungkin tes di cycle 1, tes di cycle 2, tes di cycle 3, dan selanjutnya seperti itu. Nah, data analisis itu tergantung data kamu ada apa, ada berapa. Kalau data kamu ada 3 macam, maka data analisisnya juga 3 cara. Misalkan speaking, bagaimana cara mengukur speaking, bagaimana cara menganalisis hasil speaking. Oh, dia dalam bentuk angka berarti seperti apa? Apakah melihatnya seperti bagaimana maksud saya? Adakah ada pakai statistik kah? Atau cukup deskriptif, misalkan dengan mean score ya seperti itu, standard deviation dan selanjutnya. Kemudian kamu ada interview, bagaimana cara menganalisis data interview? Itu kan menggunakan data kualitatif, ya, kualitatif data analysis. Nah, makanya dengan cara yang berbeda dengan analisis yang biasa. Apalagi misalkan kamu menggunakan tape recording tadi, bukan tape, maksud saya video recording. Jadi kamu memvideokan semua proses pembelajaran. Nanti data analisisnya seperti apa? Nah, itu juga berbeda. Kalau namanya pakai video recording, itu data analisisnya adalah menggunakan kualitatif data analisis yang biasa disebut dengan thematical analysis. Tematik kualitatif analisis, nah, gitulah kira-kira. Nah itu kira-kira, nah semua alat itu harus ada di appendix, ya. Misalkan tadi kisi-kisi atau soal speaking, apalagi observasi, kalau memang ada observation checklist, itu semuanya sudah harus siap dalam proposal, baru bisa seminar. Oke, yang terakhir itu referensi. Di sini referensinya harus menggunakan IPA 6 yang hari ini biasa digunakan. IPA ya, menggunakan apa? Yaitu American Psychological Association, itu yang biasa yang dijelaskan oleh biasanya Bu Yanti sering menyebut itu ya. Karena memang kita harus menggunakan IPA 6 edition atau sekarang tuh sudah 7 edition. Misalkan harus ada DOI-nya, ini kan tidak ada sama sekali. DOI-nya ya. Baik, saya kira itu apa dari saya. Do you have any question? I hope that you can follow my explanation and my questions.
Mungkin udah jelas sih, Sir. Nanti tinggal revisi lagi.
Baik, kalau memang tidak ada pertanyaannya, saya kira itu. Tapi tadi poin-poin yang saya sampaikan itu benar-benar poin paling minimal Anda harus perbaiki.
Yes, Sir.
Jadi untuk menyempurnakan proposal yang ada hari ini. Oke. Baiklah, saya kira cukup sampai di sini pertemuan kita.